Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I gotta get into this one quickly because I got a lot to talk about, so not really too much of an intro today. But today we're gonna be talking about the time I worked at a smoke shop, specifically on the really rough side of town here. So, a couple years ago now, no, I think it was more about a year ago. It wasn't that long ago. I was working at a smoke shop on the south part of town. Not really too far south, but near enough to the mall where like all the freaks were and all the weird shit happened. Like right down the street from the one I was at, literally 2 blocks down, the smoke shop had been completely blown out, all the windows, everything. The smoke shop employee got shot to death because the guy owed the cartel money and they fucked that shit up. We're on that part of town. So basically what happened is I'm in a smoke shop called Galaxy Smoke Shop. Really nice smoke shop in that area. Compared to the competition, I would say it's probably a lifesaver for some of the people out there because we don't sell them fucking crack and shit. And I'll get to that in a minute, but first things first, we gotta start with a couple of our usual suspects. So we got hombre number 1, who's a dude who sells drugs at this smoke shop that I work at. I don't know he sells drugs. What he does in his time is none of my business. This motherfucker was hustling the shit out of his job, though. So he would take all his tweaker friends from off the streets. And, by the way, he was not on the street. And I think that was because of this. I think it was because he was the dealer rather than the person getting pushed too. But he would take these fucking cigarette packages off the shelf, right? And he'd buy them at full price, like he would use his employee discount or whatever. And you'd take a fucking cigarette and sell it for 50 cents a pop. You know how many fucking cigarettes you could sell at 50 cents a pop and how much that makes a package worth? Dude, that shit's fucking crazy. But it got worse. So eventually 50 cents a pop wasn't enough to really cut his profit margin. So he started charging the fuckers $2 a ciggy because they're all homeless and they can't afford a full package. So he charged these motherfuckers $2 a ciggy of these 24/7 nasty fucking cigarettes. I think you all know what I'm talking about. I'll hold one up right over here somewhere. But yeah, those fuckers, he'd sell them for like $1.25 a pop. That's fucking crazy. Up to $2 towards the end of it. But so something we didn't know, towards the end of him working there, he was selling other shit too. And pretty much everything, he would like kind of bum people off in that way and scam them if they were homeless, which I kind of understand the hustle, though it's really fucked up. But he would also sell them drugs on the side, which was something we didn't know. He was selling them ice and shit. And that stuff is a no-no there. But at least it wasn't fentanyl, which is the heart of our epidemic here. So, I mean, there's that. But still. He shouldn't have been selling ice. He should have been selling coke. He shouldn't have been selling crack. So, anyway, one of his customers comes, and she's like, okay, this one's fucking crazy. So, strap in your seatbelts. I need to put mine on. This shit's fucking crazy. So, this lady comes in, and she's like, oh, so-and-so, the guy who deals the drugs, he raped me and he beat the fuck out of me and I'm trying to get away from him. I locked him in my apartment. Him and his girlfriend are trying to kill me and yada yada yada. Call the cops, yada yada. She's trying to get me to like call the boss and get him fired and everything, and I'm like, okay. So I report it to my boss because like I take those kind of things seriously. But the problem is this lady's like a fucking tweaking. She's tweaking and she's not doing well either. She's like shaking and fucking bugging out. So I know that something's seriously wrong. And I don't even know the half of this story. So basically all I know is this lady is like crazy, freaking out, and then she leaves. Okay, whatever. I tell my boss, he's like, yeah, don't interact with that lady. She's banned from the store. She's just a crazy drug addict. Okay, well that story's gonna come back relevancy like a little later on. But a couple days prior, we got to go to our next suspect, who is a homeless gentleman by the name of Willie. Now, I have no ill will for Willie, and Willie is a legend in my book. And if you see Willie out in Tucson, tell him I said hey. That being said, he's a very old man who's very addicted to drugs, and he is very high all of the time. So high, in fact, that he would frequently come into the store like fucking mouth foaming, unable to speak, like fucked up. One time he even accidentally ingested fentanyl, and I actually had to go Narcan him. That was a crazy fucking event. And then they put him in hospice for the night. But because of our resources out here, they won't put him in jail. They won't put him in a home for facility for treatment. They won't put him in somewhere for his mental health. They won't give him the medication or anything he needs because they just don't offer that shit to him. He's homeless, which I think is pretty fucked up. The dude is severely mentally ill and needs help, but he's a very nice guy. You sit down and smoke a joint out front and talk with him, he's fine. That's something I really liked about that job. Shit, I could buy paraphernalia and smoke weed all shift. It was a great job. But, so we had this gentleman, he would come into our store, and today he decided he was fucking on one. And this is right after the lady did all that shit. So he walks into the fucking store, pants around his ankles, shit coming out of his ass, shit in the fucking trousers, shit in his... Oh my god, dude. And my cover shift is just coming in. And she's like, what the fuck, Willie? And he's like, dude, I don't know what I ate, but I'm shitting. And she's like, dude, go to the fucking bathroom somewhere that has a bathroom. What are you doing? He says, can you give me a bag? And he's walking in here, duck walking, shitting on the floor. Oh, man, it was a fucking shit show. So she's like, go outside, Willie, if you're gonna do this. Go fuck outside. And she kicks him out. He comes back, starts fucking shitting on her car, punching her windows and shit, freaking out. And her boyfriend comes, and he's on his fucking motorcycle, and he's fucking popping warning shots in the air. Dude, he's about... Well, he goes, and he's like fucking chasing Willie, and he hits the shit out of Willie with a fucking brick. And I'm like, oh my fucking god. And he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then he drives off, because I guess he didn't want to get in any trouble with the law. Like, he's kind of an addict himself. All of them are, I would say. It's kind of why I didn't want to be in that scene, because you had people like my manager and some of the morning crew who were like fine, and then half the staff is fucking junkies that are tweaking 24/7, and they're getting into fights and causing all these issues. It's going to get you, the person working and being innocent, in trouble. So basically what you got to do is you got to stay out of these entire fucking engagements. These engagements aren't even worth getting involved with. So long story short, motherfucker leaves. He goes and hides behind a church and takes a shit. I kid you not. That's how this story ends. But then we get to the third side of the story. So we get to the dude who comes in. He doesn't come in. He refuses to come in. He stops coming in. Now, if you don't know, if you know the dude, you probably know exactly who I'm talking about just by this story. So the drug dealer dude one day owed some very bad people some fucking money. And he got shot. He got robbed at the store and he got shot. He got shot and the store got shut down. Fuck, dude, he came back. He was fine. But afterwards, he just was acting real funny and different. And one night, some shit goes down. That lady comes in. Willie comes in the next morning shitting himself. And he doesn't show up to work. So we're all worried and whatever. He sends this long fucking text to our boss. I fucking hate you guys. I'm never gonna come see you fuckers again. You ruined my life. Yada, yada, yada. Whatever. So he comes back in and begging for his fucking job back and all tweaking and shit. And his girlfriend's with him. And they're fucking fighting. She's fucking fighting with him. They're throwing each other into the fucking glass shelves. One of them knocks over and shatters all the shit. And the boss is like, get the fuck out. Don't fucking come back. You're banned from the store, both of you. So they both leave, and that's where we learn the whole fucking story. So her and the lady I was talking about earlier, they both like Daniel. One was just a crazy bitch, and then she was her girlfriend. Both of them are tweakers. None of the shit that actually happened. What happened is they all went into a trip on the desert with Willie for some reason. Went and stayed at a hotel. Lost the crack rock. Someone must have smoked it or something. Got into a major altercation. Willie got left in the desert, which, what the fuck? What'd Willie do? And the rest of them ended up, like, having a bunch of brawling and fighting and ordealing, and eventually it led to her coming here to give that accusation to try to get him fired from work. What the fuck? How do all those events fucking correlate? You're probably wondering. Fucking beats me. I guess that's just crackhead whacktivity, and that's the Tucson story. Now, getting back to Willie. The reason Willie was shitting himself is because he had in fact walked 47 miles, which I don't think anybody over the age of 80 should be doing. That's just a fucking absurd task. I can't believe that they left him out in the desert, first of all. He probably had nothing to do with it, though he was probably tweaking too. But who gives a fuck? Like, Willie's the chillest out of all of them. The rest of them are always freaking out, carrying on, having a fight, fucking tweaking. And all they can seem to do is bring trouble to the fucking smoke shop. So I'm glad they're gone. They haven't been many issues there since. I haven't worked there in a year, so I don't really know either way. But since he left there, there weren't any issues that I had to personally deal with. Now, the next fucking story I have is something that's even fucking weirder. So, over my time working at that smoke shop, I would watch the smoke shop across the street. Now, this smoke shop, they sold some sketchy shit. They sold that, like, legal weed shit. They sold K2 Spice, even though that's illegal here. Salvia. They were selling the Kratom and all the fake heroin shit. They were selling real fucking fentanyl pills in a blues blind bag kit, is what they would call them, which, because they're little blue pills, they call them blues. Blues blind bag kit would come with a fucking piece of tinfoil, a straw, a pill of fentanyl, and a fucking torch for $5. That's a pretty fucking banging deal if I was a tweaker. That being said, what the fuck? So what eventually ended up happening is the companies were trying to get them shut down, like the feds and shit. But they would just lock the doors, and they had bulletproof and everything glass, and they'd go and fucking leave somehow. I don't know how they kept evading police custody, or they just wouldn't open on days they knew the feds were out there waiting for them. What eventually happened is the city municipals shut off their water and power. Once they had no water and power, they had eviction notices put up on their doors and everything. And they still continued to run the fucking store without power or anything. They would run it on a, like, need-to-know basis. You'd knock and they'd come answer the door. It was real fucking weird. And they still sell all the bongs and pipes and shits, too. But they were also selling all this illegal fucking drugs and paraphernalia. It's fucking crazy, dude. And anyway, it was built into the back of a taco shop that had to kind of consolidate half of it since that whole area had gone to shit, and they closed half the plaza to build a Walmart. And eventually they closed the whole plaza and just demolished everything, including that taco place where the smoke shop was, because they kept operating out of it. And they waited for them all to leave and just fucking knocked that bitch down. Now it's just an empty parking lot with nothing left across the street. But it's pretty crazy to think about, because there used to be a Family Dollar, there were a couple things. What else was there? Food City. There was a bunch of things in that little shopping area, but there was a store, or a little taco shop called the Taco Spot. And when half of it became a smoke shop, the taco spot went out of business, and then the smoke shop went out of business, and that's the end of that story. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed this crazy ass story time about the smoke shop. I have more smoke shop stories too, so if you'd like to hear even more about that smoke shop, I got plenty more to tell. And I guess you could go ahead and leave a like and subscribe just so you could know when that video is coming out. Hope you guys have a great day.